Okay, again, 6 o'clock, I would make a motion that we open the public meeting.
Second.
I second that. Just so it gets on, Karen brought this up to my attention, that we have to announce what meeting this is for the recording, and just let everyone know, this is December 5th, 2012, meeting of the Easthampton Licensing Board. It's at 6 p.m. today, we'll start the meeting.
Okay.
So Karen, do you want to talk about the agenda?
Yes, what I would request is if we could do the change of manager first.
Okay.
Okay. Looks like everybody's here. Is that
That's
okay?
fine, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, change.
Sure, no objection. Yeah.
All in favor, aye.
So, let's move on with that. So you have a representative here?
That's correct. Attorney O'Leary for Easthampton Village Pizza, Inc. The liquor license at Village Pizza here in town. Gus Pappas has decided to change the license manager to his son, John Michael. So he submitted that for the board's approval.
Have you reviewed the paperwork?
I like everything was in order.
We have a check, that's always good.
Okay, so change of manager is to who?
From Gus Pappas to John Michael Pappas.
And you're John?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
John Michael.
John.
John's fine.
Okay, so actually, no, what you can do is change the 2013s. We do this, okay?
Yes, well,
I'm gonna type, I'm just gonna write
yeah,
it.
write it, exactly. Make a little note on yours.
Yeah.
And then when it comes through, I'll change our sheets.
Okay. So you don't go to Greece?
I haven't had a vacation in like 10 years. So
Okay.
I have Mondays off and I consider myself lucky.
He's there full time.
Well, usually they go a year and work a year, right?
So that's what some of them do, and I asked my father about whoever came up with that idea, because I don't understand the reasoning behind that. I always said that they should both be working, so each one's workload isn't as bad. Instead of this one bus is asked for a year, and then the other person is enjoying themselves. It's like they should just both be working and have a much more easier lifestyle. But
I think the paperwork has been reviewed and everything seems to be there. So I move that we change the manager from Gus Pappas to John Michael Pappas.
All those in favor?
Discussion?
No, I'll second it.
Need a
Discussion.
second. Need a second on the motion though.
You second? I thought it was already seconded.
Oh, I just,
You made a motion, you seconded.
oh, okay. Yeah,
Discussion. So, just want to make sure, so you, as manager, you are aware of Safe Serve?
yes, I have completed that.
You have, okay.
Food
Good.
serve safe, alcohol serve safe.
Good.
We send
Where'd you have
employees
that
every other year, so for the tips,
Okay.
of course.
All right.
Where'd you have that done?
Serve safe food in Springfield, serve safe alcohol at JFK in Northampton.
Oh, okay.
So, motion has been made and seconded?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
So you're all set, and the board will execute the Form 43, and I will send it out tomorrow morning. And as soon as I get it, I'll let you know. All right, then we'll prepare a new license with John Michael as manager.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys.
Nice to see you.
Back to making pizza.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
See you later.
Take it
Bye,
easy.
John Michael. Nice seeing you again.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Two signatures.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 pages.
Does it have to be black?
No.
We had, what's the other one? We had two?
Figure? No, we did, but that's going to be on for January. It was a special license, and they're not going to do it till January.
Okay.
They had plenty of time.
2 pages, right?
Okay.
So, while we're waiting, what I could tell you, like, we've got the renewal of all the licenses.
Yes.
So I copied you the latest liquor licenses and the latest car licenses. And what's going to happen is, we were talking about it at the last board meeting, we're still waiting for all the licenses to be approved, their certificates of inspection from the fire chief and the building inspector. So they're still, doing some finishing touches on that. And what we had agreed to is, when they're all prepared, the board members could come in and go through them and execute them here. Because there's, as you remember, there's quite a few. And so I'll contact you when that's all set. But that's a requirement of ABCC, that they're signed off by the fire chief and the building inspector. Not the package stores, but all the other licenses. And they're just about done with them.
Okay.
Thank you. And the car licenses, those they don't have a requirement for that, but those will be coming due also. So as soon as I have everything together, I'll call you so you can have plenty of time to come in and execute them. Okay, but those are the lists. Yeah. I've got the liquor on top.
So this obviously is the most current list.
Yes, and we already, as you know, we now will have something pending tonight. We'll have a transfer of manager pending.
Right.
Last month, we just did a transfer of a license. So that's pending. Actually, two things: change of manager was pending, license was pending, and now tonight. So, they change monthly, and I'll keep updating them. But that's what it is as of now.
Okay.
And Ray, you had asked me a question about Hoyle
I got it right
Street,
here.
and just to let you know, that one was not given out last year.
Okay.
Because with the Class 2 car dealer licenses, they're required to furnish us with a bond.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't receive the bonds, the licenses are not approved or handed out.
Okay.
So I don't have any further information on it this year, but I believe you were trying to tell me that there's nobody at that location.
Right, they moved, what we're talking about, what I'm talking about,
Two Hoyle Street?
is Global Automotive on 2 Hendrick, Hoyle Street, where Dr. Canazzi,
Okay.
okay, they're no longer there.
Do we know where they are?
I don't have any information on
And
that.
is
As
gonna
of
be applied
right
for?
now,
Not as of yet.
as right now, I know he's renting a house on Glendale Road. I believe, I'm sorry, Torrey Street. Down off Glendale Road, I mean, and
Going towards the Northampton Dome.
no, going over in Southampton. It's
Is it on the way to?
Glendale Road in Southampton.
Yeah.
Okay. Right before right after you cross over the bridge,
Yeah.
he's supposed to be renting that house on the right-hand side.
So I'll keep you updated.
And the same thing applies if he doesn't apply
Right.
in time, he'd have to,
And if he moves location, he has to come before the board
Yeah.
and request, a change of location.
okay,
So,
what number was that, or?
that's toward the second to the last. That's one that has the restrictions on it.
Okay, I see,
Yes.
oh, yeah, right.
Yes,
I got it,
and
okay.
like I said last year, I didn't receive the bond for it, so it wasn't handed out, it wasn't given
Okay.
out. So so in other words, maybe that one will not be renewed this year. But
Okay.
we'll see if it comes back for a renewal. The notices go out, and we'll see what happens when it
Okay.
comes back.
I did happen to see him, and I said, well, if you're not there
Right.
and you're going to be moving, you got to come in to see the board
Exactly,
for a location.
right.
And
And the other thing, they've all been checked with the tax collector's office,
Yeah.
because if they're more than 12 months delinquent, we have the right to hold their license till they, pay. But all of them have been checked, and they're all A-okay.
Okay.
So I'm thinking probably the end of next week, I'll be giving you a call, telling you that, everything is pretty much in order.
All right.
Okay?
that's fine with me. Okay. All right. next that we have is Luther Co-ops LLC.
Do you want to do that now, or do you want to wait till 6:15, or you want to do minutes first, or?
Yeah, let's do the minutes. Let me,
All right, because I was just saying he's sitting here.
No, I understand, I don't want to hold him up.
Yeah.
But just to be, I mean, he's scheduled for 6:15, correct, Karen?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You have yours, you have your minutes.
Right here.
Karen, did we ever get that certificate of naturalization from?
Yes.
Steve? Okay, you got it.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Okay, upon presentation to the clerk of the naturalization, all right.
Yes. And I copied it for him and put it with the paperwork. And we have a copy in our file too.
Okay, all right.
Oh, and yeah, and while you're reading those, every license holder has signed their renewals and paid for their licenses in the month of November.
Okay, I'm finished with the minutes.
I'd make a motion to accept the minutes for November 7th, 2012.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye. This letter.
I was gonna take that up under new business.
Okay. That's fine.
If
That's
you wanna
fine.
do it now, we
No,
can.
no, well, yeah, I mean, we're almost at 6:15. I don't want to hold him up, so.
Okay.
Till we're done, so we can all just,
All
you
right.
got a deck of cards, we can play Go Fish for 5 minutes and, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I know something else I could update you on. You know the the two over-quota legislative licenses? They are both in Boston today. They're now, there's been a change where the applicants actually have to go to Boston and appear at the hearing, and their hearings are today. So both of those establishments are there.
Now, those would be which ones?
Popcorn Noir and Riff's Joint.
Okay.
And they're both, in Boston appearing at the hearings.
Good.
Yeah, so,
Now,
today.
what about the hotel one?
The bed and breakfast.
But is anything on that one?
That one was already approved, not by the
was approved.
licensing board.
Yeah.
But, so what happens is, and you could probably update them, but what happens is when Michael Bear is ready to, apply, he had explained that it's quite an
Yeah.
extensive build-out. What he has to do is he has to come before the licensing board and apply for a new license. All the forms, because it is a new license. So at some point in time, he has to do that, and then it's up to the board whether it's approved or not.
Okay.
But he has legislative approval, so that gives him the right to apply to the board for an over-quota
Okay,
license.
well, he has,
He hasn't, done it yet.
Yeah.
I know, like he had explained, it was, a
yeah,
couple of
I just didn't
$100,000
know, I
worth
haven't
of
heard
build-out.
what
Right.
was going on with that.
So, and that's the latest.
Okay.
Ray, did you get a chance to get down to Riff's Joint?
No, I didn't get down there.
Have you been down there?
Since they've gotten the liquor license? Or since
Well-
they've opened?
No, they've got a lounge now.
Yeah, I know.
Did you see it?
I haven't.
Okay, well, I saw it.
I heard
Yeah,
there was
It's awesome.
There was
Uh,
a,
it's- yeah.
I think they did a great job.
It's right next to like the restaurant, and it looks pretty good.
It is.
so there was, I heard a advertisement for it the other day.
Well, I know, Ray, you wanted to go down and look at it, and I
Right.
happened to be down there. Oh, it's at the Registry of Motor Vehicles, and that's what it was. And I wandered down there, and it's separate. It's a separate, containment, and it says on the door, nobody under 21 admitted, so, it looks nice. It's a nice place to go for maybe a casual drink or something.
It's separate? They're not connected?
No, there's a wall in between
There's an open
them.
doorway.
Right.
Yeah.
They're connected, right? For liquor license purposes, they're connected.
They are, okay.
They are.
That was my
Right, they
Well,
concern.
yeah,
Yeah, they are.
but it
They're-
has a separate entrance.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But it
does. So
flows.
when you get
Yeah.
Through.
when you buy the alcohol at Riffs, okay, it's just the restaurant part.
You'll see when you go.
Yeah.
It's just easier.
It's a real lounge.
Okay, yeah, I know, you
Yeah.
can go right through the lounge.
Yeah.
I mean, right from the restaurant, right?
Yeah,
through.
yeah, you
Okay,
can, right.
I didn't know if they took it out the restaurant part.
No.
To bring
no,
it in.
No, it's in the front. There's a separate entrance that you can get into. It's kind of nice. All right, 6:15.
I'll have to get through there because I heard the food. Actually, I should say I heard. I've had the food. It's great.
That's 6:15.
All right,
So you want to move on to,
the hearing.
it's not a hearing necessarily, is it? This is not a public hearing.
Well, actually, these are not public hearings. These are administrative hearings.
Okay, well, that, I just wanted to be
We're not in a court of law.
I understand that, but
The reason we don't-
even in a public hearing, you're not in a court of law, but I just want to be clear as to what this is.
Yeah. Are you Stephen?
I'm Steve.
Can you just sit on this side here? It'd be easier for all of us.
So Karen, can you clear that up just so we know the proper way to open up what exactly it is we're doing here? Whether or not this is indeed a public hearing, or whether or not this is just a part of the open meeting.
Well, I can tell you, I can give, actually, you probably don't have copies of all this, do you?
I do.
Okay, so these are the originals that we received, and this is a letter that was sent to Stephen there. That might help. And what I have done is I've scheduled him as a requested appearance before the licensing board.
Who was that, Karen? Oh, Steve. Okay.
Ray, you got a copy of this, right? Ray,
I'm sorry.
you got a copy of that?
Last
No.
meeting, yeah,
Last
last
meeting.
meeting, right?
Oh, okay, the last
Yeah.
meeting. Yeah, okay.
I'd be happy to make you, do you have your stuff from last meeting, Ray?
I don't happen to have it with me here.
Okay, do you want me to make a copy?
Please.
Because I'll
want a
make a
copy
copy
too?
for, I'm gonna make a copy for,
Oh, what
Jason
I just
also.
looked at?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, you'd like a copy, right? Do you have yours? Okay, I'll be right back.
Are you the owner of the place?
Yes.
You are. Okay, so you own the building?
My parents just bought the building that closed last week. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I go by there every now and then. You get a crowd coming in.
Yeah, it's pretty busy. And
Yeah.
even the restaurant, Amy's and Nene's, have both told us that they've seen an increase in their dinner crowd too. So,
Mhm.
it's pretty cool.
You got a copy of this police report, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right.
What is that?
That's the actual, this is the letter from the chief.
Oh,
As a
okay.
result of the incident that happened, the notification to the board that he would like to see some action taken.
Okay, can I ask you again? Is this a public hearing? I mean, I know we're in an open meeting,
Right.
and there's a difference, as far as I'm concerned, between a public hearing and an open meeting. You know, we've got information which I've reviewed, you know, in hand, and I'm just not really sure how we're supposed to be proceeding with this. I appreciate Mr. Bear, you know, being here, and I'd love to talk about it. I just want to be sure that we know in what context we're talking about.
It would be the same as you did for the hearings for the people who were alleged to violate the sting operation.
Yes. However, the police department was here at that time.
Police department was not necessary to be here. They are agents of the board, okay? And they filled out a report. We act on the report. They're our agents. In a court of law, you have the opportunity to confront your accuser.
I don't want to talk about the court of law,
Okay,
because
but
we're not
this
lawyers
is-
and we're not in a court.
And we're not required to have the police here. We go by the report that we receive.
That's fine. I just want to be
Okay,
clear how
so-
we're proceeding.
If we take action, whatever action we take, he can appeal to the ABCC. There are things you should do, as your lawyer would probably tell you, when you appeal that, because otherwise, the action that we take is imposed. You can ask for a stay, but you have to get that through the Superior Court. You probably know that, or a lawyer certainly knows that. So, we can do whatever we want to do, but that's the procedure that happens.
So I'll ask one more time. Is this a public hearing?
Well, our meeting is public.
Well, we're in an open meeting.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between an open meeting and a public hearing.
Well, what is a public hearing? I mean,
Public hearing means that abutters are invited and people who were involved, such as the police, are notified so that anyone who had any involvement in it or has any interest in it would be invited to the public hearing. Right now, if this is just an open meeting and it's just, hey, it's the licensing board talking to the business owner about a complaint that we got, and it's just going to be a discussion about that, that's fine. My only question would be is that if, after having a discussion, and I doubt this would happen, but just to dot our I's and cross our T's, is that if the decision or the consensus of the licensing board is that some penalty should be made upon or something, but that we would think that it should be as a public hearing rather than just on the open meeting.
No, because what this board does is determines whether or not violations have occurred, and if they have occurred and they take some kind of action, and he's informed officially with a letter what action we take and what his remedies are, he'll be told that, and then it goes from there. And if he proceeds to court, he proceeds to court, but I don't want to give you legal advice. That's not my thing. But if I, you know, when you have a liquor license, there's certain responsibilities that you have.
Yeah.
Bill, can we hang on just
Yeah,
to say
okay,
so?
yeah.
Well, and I understand what you're saying, but so can we just proceed just saying that, okay, so here we are, we're having part of our, you know, this is part of our agenda, this is not necessarily a public hearing.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't care what you want to call it.
Well, I do care.
Well, it's an open hearing. These are
Because if we decide something punitive upon him
Yeah.
and it's not done properly,
no,
well, you
I don't
know,
think we'll have. I don't think you have any.
I don't think there's going to be anything punitive. I'm just trying to make sure we're doing it the right way. That's
Well, then let's proceed. But I'm just telling you, we have the authority to do whatever we want to do.
okay. Proceed.
And
I'm fine with that.
what this eventually will lead to is what Ray has been working on in getting a set of complete guidelines.
Sure. And I understand that we are really only one arm of what everything, you know, all this is about. You know, we have the ABCC, we have the police department, we have us. It's 3 arms, actually. So that's fine. If we want to proceed, if you feel comfortable with that,
I really
happy.
do, yeah.
Fine. I'm happy with it. Okay. Fine. So go on. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Well,
My thing is, we have the police report right here. Okay? This is exactly what happened. Steve, did you get a copy of this?
I do have this, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's mostly accurate,
Okay.
mostly accurate.
In your
Just,
opinion?
can you clear up what mostly happened?
Yeah, 209 is when he called it in.
Oh, okay.
So around 205 is when he came to the door and emptied out the place. It was a little bit of a freak thing. I mean, last call happened at the right time. I was doing side work and I wasn't paying close enough attention at the time. Once everyone got out, called it in around 209. So, and this says he saw someone leaving or walking in at 209, then he parked his car, then came to the door. Like, it wasn't that late. Not that it makes that much of a difference. It's past 2. I definitely was my mistake, obviously. But as far as like, it's also a very, it's ironic because we've probably only been open till 2 probably 3 times since April, because we're not a late night bar. But the changes I made on my end, the first thing I did was I pushed the clocks ahead because most bars have clocks pushed ahead.
How much ahead is push the clock?
Well, this is the thing. I did 10 minutes,
Yeah,
but
okay, so that's good, yeah.
Bar time.
Right.
yeah, at bar time.
Right, okay.
But the other thing is, I just made a shop policy that I don't want people in there past 1, because honestly, we're not a late night bar. I don't want to deal with that kind of liability late night. Like, people are past midnight, they're usually on a mission to get drunk. So I mean, I'd rather them go down the street, and I don't schedule things past 11. So, you know, the music stops at 11, people hang out. Usually it's around midnight when we're actually closing up. Sometimes it happens that we're open to 1, you know, but like, it's extremely rare to be open past 1. So I made a shop policy because I just don't want to have to deal with this again, you know. So those are the changes I made on my end. But no one's actively being served, and it's definitely not my intention to have anyone in there past 2, you know.
So basically what you said, you know you made a mistake and you're correcting
Oh yeah.
as best as you can.
Yeah, I don't think I'm above the law.
Okay.
I'd just like to go through a list that I have here, okay? And just
Yeah.
tell you what disturbs me.
Okay.
Any police officer who comes to an establishment that has a liquor license is acting as our agent,
Yes.
okay? And the officer observed a female walking in the front door at 2:09.
Yeah, which is not.
Well, we don't have a thing that you can't admit anybody, you know.
Yeah, but the front door is locked.
Okay,
That's
well,
why the officer couldn't get in, which is also.
But then, okay,
So-
I mean, you know, I don't think we have to
Yeah.
say you need to post an officer to be sure nobody enters after 1 o'clock or so, you
Yeah.
know? I wouldn't be in favor of that
Yeah.
at this point, okay? But when an officer comes to the door and he says, I heard music coming from inside and observed several people inside consuming beverages while they sat at the table in the bar, okay? I then asked Bart what time he planned on closing tonight. Bart did not respond. Bart then looked at his watch and then followed me inside where I asked all the patrons to exit the establishment. And they did. He counted 15 as they exited, okay?
At approximately 2:09.
Yeah. Do you know what our regulation is for closing time?
Drinks have to be off the tables by 2. Patrons technically don't have to leave till 2:15.
Right. All patrons must be off the premises by 2:15.
Yep.
Okay, so you know that.
Yep.
All right.
So my violation really is the drinks on the tables, not necessarily people inside.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
either way, it's a good idea.
But I like the 10-minute bar time.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
That helps. And then, you know, 2 o'clock really is late.
It's
And of course,
super-
you're
yeah, I
not
wanna
open
do
all the
that.
time, yeah. But if you're having a good night,
Yeah.
you know, then you just need to pay closer attention to these times here.
Yeah.
And I think what we will do, you know, it maybe is too late now, but maybe it isn't. But you know what? I really like to see these times posted on all the licenses. Service of alcohol to patrons must cease at 1:45. That's 1:45.
I think they are on them.
No.
You know, it doesn't have anything about last call on the license.
it
It does
doesn't.
have the 2
I don't
o'clock
Yeah.
and the
Oh,
2:15.
that's right. Right, off the premises at 2:50.
Yeah.
All drinks must be off the table and bar by established closing time, which is 2 a.m.
Well, you see, our regulation goes, you know, it really specifies 3 different times. It helps.
What does it say here?
See, this is our regulation,
Okay.
and he knows it. And maybe it should really be on there, those three things. Stop serving, clear the table.
Instead of,
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah, well, no, the hours have to be on there too. But just these three, it helps them to realize how
Service
close
at
they are.
1:45.
Yeah. Right,
Remove from table at 2, which is, that's on there.
Yeah.
And then patrons at 2:15, so the one that's not on there is service of all patrons deceased at 1:45.
yeah.
So that's-
You know, it'd probably be a little bit clearer.
Yeah.
I don't know if the new people have it, because we really, you know, one of the things we're working on is when we have our rules and regulations all done up, we'll invite all the bar owners, managers, to come and familiarize you with all the rules and requirements.
Yeah.
So that's that. Now, things that we can do is, the clocks were the first thing. Second, you'd have to hire a cop, added expense, to keep the patrons from getting a little bit rowdy on Tuesday evenings. You remember making that statement?
People getting rowdy
Yeah, sure.
on the paper.
Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah, you know what's funny though?
What?
Because I think my definition of rowdy for that place
Well, yeah,
versus rowdy
right,
for
right.
Amy's is
Yeah.
they're very different
Yeah,
rowdies.
It doesn't look too good in the paper.
No, it doesn't.
But I understand it. You're having a good night and it's, everything's going well.
Yeah, I even it's a paper interview. I even questioned whether or not I said that. It's not even quoted, but there was a video
from October,
a video interview for
Yeah.
that. Which, but even if I very well could have said that. The difference aside, the difference
Yeah.
between the Wednesday open mic versus the Tuesday open mic. The Tuesday is a way more social event.
Well, you saw the movie Blues Brothers, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you don't have that
It's
cage
not-
there,
no,
no.
no.
And it doesn't get that rowdy.
No,
but-
I don't even think we've had like an argument in like a serious art. Like we
Yeah.
don't have bar fights. We don't have like it's an extremely respectful like crowd. We don't have those types of issues. You know.
All right. And then, you know, the commission here can also say that you have to stop the music maybe at 11 or 12. I don't want to do that. We don't like to micromanage any business.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But when something like this happens and we get a letter from the chief and he says, you know, we'd like you to do something, you
Yeah.
know, because it makes a difference. When people don't come to the door right away
Yeah.
to let the cop in,
Yeah.
they don't know what's going on inside.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one of the reasons that as soon as you hear an officer and you don't move, they think like a cop. Okay? Are they flushing drugs down the toilet? You know, who knows what's going on?
Yeah.
So that's why when they act as our agents, we kind of like respect the job they're doing and know that it's
Yeah.
tough. And so do you too. Okay.
See, my question would be, I'm sorry.
Mhm,
may I
yeah,
interrupt you?
no.
Okay. Is a couple things from the police report that I'm a little confused about. He knocked on the door. Why is he knocking on the door? Why is he not walking out?
I locked it from the people could leave from the inside. I locked the handle to prevent more people from coming in. When I did last call, I probably did that around 1:45.
Okay.
I did last call probably
So this wasn't a
1:45.
closed party?
No.
No.
No, I just at 1:45. I don't want new people coming in trying to get drinks. So.
But at 2:09, you still had music playing?
Not live music. I mean, the radio was going. Yeah. I don't know.
It doesn't say. It just says you're
The music was currently playing and there was no indication of people were leaving. I'm just curious what that means. Was there still live music
No.
playing?
No.
There wasn't still live music playing. So you just turned the stereo on and people were still hanging out.
Yeah, when the live music wraps up around 11, sometimes it goes to 11:30.
Right.
But
Because that would be one of my concerns is that, you know, you're playing live music.
It keeps the people there.
Of course.
Sure,
yeah.
no, that's great, you know, but at 2:09 a.m., I think live music is a little bit excessive.
Oh yeah, of course.
So that's
No.
not the case.
No.
You know, there's-
I technically
and the
should've
reason the
killed
door
that.
was locked, because I get concerned when a police officer goes to a public establishment where alcohol can be served,
Yeah.
and he can't get in without knocking on the door,
Yeah.
concerns me a little bit.
Okay.
You know,
I agree with you, Jason.
I mean, I understand why, I get your reasoning.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I locked it so no one else was coming in.
Yeah.
But, you know, part of that is like, well, but he also observed a female walking in the door of the establishment not too long before that. So I mean, listen, I don't know, I wasn't there, so I don't know. All I know is that just the narrative of that is a little bit concerning. That, you know, the door's locked, people are still there, it's 2 o'clock, 2:10 in the morning, and a cop's trying to get in. That I don't think is a good idea.
Yeah.
You know, and I understand your, like I said, I understand your reasoning that you don't want anyone else coming in, but, you know, at that time in the morning, I think you'd want a cop coming in case you needed him to
Of
come
course,
in.
yeah.
You know, that's just my only 2 cents.
My thing is I don't like that idea of locking the door.
Okay.
Okay, because God forbid you have a fire in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just from
how
the
are those
outside,
people
though.
going to get out into that to get outside? Just like that place down the road, Adam.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know where.
So you're
They
saying you
could
could lock it from the
It's
inside,
a handle lock, so it opens from the inside.
so you can still get in.
So that's why, like, I think honestly,
You can't get in.
You can't get in.
You can't get out, but you can get out.
yes.
Yes,
So
and
it's a
that's
handle-
fine.
It's a handle lock.
And I understand what
No,
you're
totally.
saying.
I shouldn't do
but
a deadbolt, of
on
course.
the,
Yeah.
On the other hand, is that, but if you want a cop to come in, you want a cop to come in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if I needed the cop to come in, then I would want.
You know, let's say that you're incapacitated at some point, you know,
Yep.
someone hits you over the head with a beer bottle.
Yep.
I mean, granted, they
Things
can knock
happen.
the
Things
door
happen.
down,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
but locking the door,
Okay.
in or out, I think is a bad idea.
I can stop doing that.
Can't you just have someone there? Can't you just have someone there at the door and say, hey, you can't come in?
Yeah, I mean,
You know, I mean, I know you.
or just let people know as soon as they try to come in. Sorry, last call.
Yeah.
Already closed. Like, yeah.
Yeah, instead, you know, I don't like that idea of that door lock.
Okay. All right.
You know,
I'll change that.
and I think if God forbid anything does happen, you won't like it.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
You know.
You're right. I didn't think about that. So.
Yeah. Okay, great. I'm fine with that.
Well, I don't think we'll have any problems anymore, but I mean, just be aware of the closing time and you know, sometimes, I don't know if it happens in our city very much, but usually they have a person who cleans up, and if it's 1 or 2 people in the bar, the manager and the cleanup person, you know, they could be there a few minutes later than the regular patrons, you know.
Oh, sure.
But that's, but when any time that they see activity inside a place, the cops don't know whether it's a cleanup man or what, you know.
Yeah.
Could have been somebody who broke in.
Exactly.
So that's why they're alert and attended, and they report this. You know, what I think we should do is probably reiterate the closing times in a letter to you and give you a warning.
Okay.
That seems to be the precedent that the board has set with hearings that we've already had for violations.
Okay.
We've had 4, and this would probably, if it's all right with the other members, I move that we just give a warning and place it in the file.
I'd second that.
So are you saying the same thing as like we did to the other
Yeah,
3
correct,
restaurants?
yeah.
I think that's a good idea because we'd set the preference of what we're
Warning the
doing.
first time.
We should put it in the file,
Right.
and then if it happens again,
Then more serious
Yeah.
it's
consequence. Yeah.
it gives us sort of leverage to
Yeah.
do something more than just saying, hey, don't do it again.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to. I don't want to put restrictions on you. You know, I don't want you to have to hire a cop. I don't need
Yeah.
that. You don't need that extra expense. But you seem to. You know, I think this thing is going to grow because it's getting a lot of publicity and a lot of publications, and I think it's going to be well for you. And it is a privilege to have a liquor license, and you know, just learn from this experience.
Yeah.
Motion's been made and seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
Stephen, good luck.
All right.
So,
Thanks, guys.
are you gonna just draft a letter,
Right.
just as a,
Yeah.
you know, warning letter? Thank you.
And you'll send a notice to the police
To the police department that they know that we recognize, you know, the fact that it happened.
I'll draft something for you guys to review.
I'll help you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe when you come in to sign
Yeah.
all your licenses.
Yeah.
When do we have to do that?
I'll probably give you a call maybe the end of next week and then you can
Okay, so
come in.
not, it doesn't have to be right away.
No.
Okay.
Yep, we're still waiting for a few
Okay.
final, inspections.
I don't need this anymore. Do you want it?
Sure.
Okay.
Do you want me, that's not a problem at all, to put, so the only one we're missing is service of all ceases
I
at
would just put-
1:45. We can put that on here, you know.
But she's be on all of them, Karen.
We could, that's what I mean, we can put them on all of them. It's so.
You know, see, even though they
We've got,
don't...
you want to keep the Monday through Saturday, 8 to 2,
Yep,
Sunday, 11 to 2.
That should be
And
on
then
all of them.
what we can do is we can get rid of this. We can just start right here and do service of alcohol
Yes.
to patrons must cease at one, instead of getting rid of this thing, we
Right.
get rid of this.
And those are just, you know, those are our requirements, but they can close earlier. See, a lot of them aren't open till 2.
So we can put 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
So it'll read like this. It'll read like this. It'll read Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 2 a.m., Sunday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m., and then it'll read, service of alcohol to patrons must cease at 1:45 a.m., all alcohol must be removed from tables by 2 a.m.,
Right.
and all patrons must be off the premises by 2:15
Right.
a.m. Okay?
I think the chief even cited that in his letter. All alcohol must be removed from tables by 2 a.m.
But it actually said, this actually says it, because it
Yeah.
says, all drinks must be off tables and bar by established closing time, and it
Yeah.
says right there,
But-
closing time's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have, the service of alcohol to patrons must cease at
Stop.
1:45.
Yeah.
It doesn't say that.
That would be last call. And if they're smart, it'll be 10 minutes before last call because their clocks are 10 minutes
Because they're
ahead.
doing
Right.
bar
Yeah.
job.
So the only one that's missing is the 1:45, but we can put that right on all
Put
of
all
these.
three, yeah.
And then they're just listed there.
Okay.
So there's no question.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. Actually, this is yours, right? Is this yours?
Yes, yeah.
Just make a quick copy and I'll put it with it, so I'll have it. Oh, I have this.
Of course you do.
I don't-
Like I say,
I don't
Karen,
need to
you're the
make a
boss.
copy.
You have one too.
I don't need to make a copy of
Okay,
that.
all right.
I'll just,
Right.
I'll take it right off the ones.
Okay. Okay, and you want to be sure to send a copy or a letter to the chief that we had the hearing.
What I'll do is I'll CC him on the letter that we send to.
Okay, yes,
Yours.
all right.
The
Okay.
warning letter or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
And then they'll know what it is.
and you'll have the chairman
We'll
sign
work
it.
on that.
Okay. Okay, are we under new business?
Yes.
All right. I received this letter at my home that I gave to Karen to make copies for everybody here. And,
I read it.
That's
and
this.
actually, if you want to take some time and study it and then do something next month, you can.
Oh, okay.
Such
But-
as,
Well, actually, there's not much this board can do because this is a problem for the police department. This is a disturbance call, a nuisance call, so I don't know. She says, please let me know what can be done about this ongoing problem. Thank you for your time. And I have seen these windows open. I went there twice and talked to them. They assured me they'd be closed. I believe that they're trying to do the right thing. I think they like to be, you know, good neighbors if they can. They were concerned because sometimes the people would come out here and go down this walk where the handicap are, and they'd be smoking cigarettes, and you could hear their voices travel to the, you know, places next door, the two houses.
oh, sure.
And so they did agree to keep the people off here and tell the people if they want to smoke, go out back,
Out back.
towards the wood park. And I believe they do that, and they said that they would keep these windows closed. When they went, the night I went down there, they were open, but they said that they close them when the karaoke starts. Now, if karaoke becomes a problem, the police department will let us know about that. But that is their job to do it, and the thing about an entertainment license, listen, we don't micromanage, we just give it to them, and the law is on the back of that, right, Karen? The entertainment license,
That's exactly
and it's a
right.
state law, so it's nothing that we came up with.
I agree. I agree. And I also would note that this person is,
Well, be careful.
has had complaints in the past.
Okay. Yep.
You know, and you know, this has
Dated
been
1996.
this has been an establishment that has been there for a long time.
What's it originally called? Ed LaFoe's.
Well, that's before my time. The red, what was it before?
Linda House?
The Glendale House, yes. It was.
Yeah.
But before that, it was I'm thinking the Red Basket. but
You're right.
No, no, it was,
It's not the Orchard Grove,
yeah, it was something red.
before my time.
Yeah, anyway, before my, well, if it's before your
Karen.
time, it's before my time.
I can't remember.
Anyway, I mean, this has been,
94, 96, and so forth, okay?
right, but I agree with Mr. Sullivan that, I mean, most of everything you read in here really should be covered under the jurisdiction of public safety. You know, I mean, this is,
Right.
if it's a noise disturbance, I mean, they've got license to operate, they've got a license to be a restaurant. You know, I mean, if they were serving to minors and violating
Yeah.
any
Something
sort
we
of
could do.
that kind of thing, well, you know, that'd be a different story. But if they're complaining about someone going outside and having a cigarette and, you know, yelling to their girlfriend at the car, well, you know, hey, I understand
yeah.
their problem and I sympathize with it, but that's not that's not under the purview of the licensing board. I mean, that's definitely public safety.
Okay.
So, you, I think
Yeah, I
we're
do,
agreed,
I do,
right?
I
You
do.
know,
And I think if it's something that the police chief wants us to get involved with, he'll tell us. But I mean,
Yeah,
if there's
but
nothing he can do, there's nothing that we can do.
He's never said anything, as far as
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
He's never really approached us and say, okay, this place is
Right,
really a
right.
problem.
Or a nuisance, yeah.
And I can say, I mean, we can say this because we live in town.
Yeah.
So we all know.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been there.
Yeah.
Ray's been there, Karen's been there. You know that this is not exactly a roadhouse.
No.
Okay?
Okay.
This is not a place where you get a bunch of Harleys pulling up to the place.
Like the
and-
Blues Brothers.
Yeah, it's not like the
Right.
Blues Brothers. Yeah, right, where they're throwing beer
Right.
bottles at a chicken wire. You know, that's
Right.
not what this place is.
See,
It's kind of a family establishment, and granted, they have a bar.
I'd go in there, but I've never heard what's been in this letter at all. Mike ran a night. I mean, he still runs a nice, quiet, family type restaurant,
I think so.
and I would say send this over to the police department.
Well,
If
they-
there's a complaint, then we do
Yeah,
something.
all right.
Yeah. Maybe you just want to, Karen, if it's, although I'm sure they've already seen much of this, maybe you just want to forward it to them and say that the licensing commission has reviewed this and said, we really don't think that this is
Within our purview.
Within our purview, and that, you know, if public safety seems to think that the licensing commission should get involved, we'd be happy to, but at this time, we don't really think that it's our responsibility or something that we really have anything to do with. Does that sound
Within our
accurate?
jurisdiction.
Where it's not really within our jurisdiction.
board's jurisdiction.
Yeah. I mean, if someone's yelling outdoors, you know, at 1 a.m., I mean, they're not calling my house,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, they're calling the licensing board, they call the police department.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but I think if we do that, we're gonna have to put that restriction on every bar. If somebody, you know,
And I mean, I think that we've already seen that if the police department thinks there's an issue, they'll send it to us. And we've never seen anything, as far as I know, from public safety about Glory Days. They've never complained, they've never said anything about us and say, oh, you need to review this, very much like we got here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
we got
yeah,
this here.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, this was a clear violation,
Yeah.
you know? So, does that sound
Yeah, I like that.
right?
sounds very good to me.
I think it would satisfy her as saying that we discussed it, and the board feels that it's not within our jurisdiction, and send it to the police department. Okay?
I'm fine with it.
All right.
I put my thing under here, the agenda. Are we done with it?
I think so. Karen, is there anything else? We'll just wait to hear from you.
I'm fine.
All right.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we adjourn then.
Now, let us make a motion. You call for the vote. I move that we adjourn.
All right,
Okay.
I second you.
Okay.
As long as you give me a ride home.
Oh, geez, all right. I gotta go right away, though. We gotta get out of here.
Jason, will you make sure this goes out, please?